just to give you a total update here, what we have is the small Air Canada Express plane, roughly 84 passengers, somewhere around there. It was landing on runway 4 of LaGuardia Airport. The thing landed, and while it was slowing down, a fire truck crossed the runway. Even though the controllers were like, truck, stop, truck 1, stop. They tried to get that truck to stop. For whatever reason, the truck crossed the runway in front of this moving plane. The plane hit it. As you can see, it tore the front end off of the plane. The truck was being driven by 2 police officers that were like substituting as firefighters and not, you know, the regular firefighters driving that truck. I think the 2 cops were injured and they had some like broken legs or something. And the pilot and the co-pilot, obviously, as you see here, were seriously injured, and they are apparently both dead. Jesus. Dude, this is like, it is like a constant aviation disaster upon aviation disaster upon aviation disaster. Because, like, the Trump admin is just incompetent, right? Sean Duffy runs around talking about pull-up bars and shit. Oh my God, dude. Brutal.
Truck 1 and company crossing 4 at Delta.
Frontier 4195 to stop there, please. Stop, truck 1, stop. Stop, truck 1, stop. Stop, truck 1, stop.
Dude, yeah, you can hear him like, stop, truck 1, stop. Stop, truck 1, stop. The controller was like, truck 1, stop, truck 1, stop. Here's an image of it. Whoa. Dude, crazy, bro. You can see the front of it is pretty fucking decimated where it hit this thing. Unfucking real, bro. That is so scary. I mean, obviously, if people died, you can tell it was the front. It was either first class or the pilots. Dude, what the hell, dude? Oh my God, bro. This is like just a constant stream. So yeah, it's an Air Canada plane. A fire truck was crossing the runway. Again, it was in the middle of the landing. You know, obviously it had to be moving at a pretty decent clip. This is the plane we're looking at. The Air Canada Express. That's the exact same plane. It has the 2 doors over the wing, right? And so normally it has that door. The cockpit is like gone, dude. This is like the cockpit right here, guys. Look at that shit. That is mangled because there's 2 windows after the Canadian maple leaf. So you have the 2 windows. Here's the door, which is off. So you're right. The entire cockpit is just shattered. That is some wreckage, though, bro. Jesus. I mean, I think those pilots are hurt bad. Those pilots are definitely hurt bad. So here's our map. It was runway 4. Runway 4 means it was landing this way. So the plane was coming in here, landing. Now, the crossover points here, it seems like there's area E and F, right? F crosses, E crosses, G crosses, P crosses. So it had to have happened at one of these crossing points. I mean, it obviously didn't happen down here at Y because I feel like everybody would have been dead. It's at E. They're at E. So runway 4... There we go. Runway 4, and it happened at E. So it had come a good way down the runway. But guys, that plane was still going at a good clip, bro. I can't help but think when that helicopter, remember in DC, when that military helicopter collided with the plane that was coming in for a landing? You wonder, why did nobody in the helicopter see that, like, a plane was right there? I mean, it's the same here. Like, isn't a truck before it crosses the runway? Are they not looking both ways? You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm driving a fire truck across a runway, I'm stopping And I'm going to look both ways before I pull out there, dude. You know what I mean? I mean, it's not like this isn't wide open, okay? There's no buildings out here. There's no buildings. There's no mountains. There's nothing to obstruct the view. There's just no way you would be driving across a runway in front of a fucking plane, dude. I mean, was the guy, you know, I don't know what he was doing. Was he on his phone? The driver of that truck, was he texting somebody? I mean, you got to wonder.
With breaking news out of New York City, where a plane landing at LaGuardia Airport crashed into a fire truck on the tarmac, ripping the plane apart and shutting down the airport.
An Air Canada regional jet collided with a Port Authority truck upon landing tonight.
At least 2 people left seriously injured. They've now been identified as Port Authority police officers assigned to firefighter duty at the airport.
So did you notice that? Like, did you hear what they said right there? They said police officers working as firefighters, right? Yeah, which that now it makes sense. They were not regular firefighters driving that truck. I'm telling you right now, that is the root of the situation is they had inexperienced people driving a fucking fire truck across a runway, bro. I feel like the truck should see the pilots. Like when the pilots land, they're usually not like, you know, looking around so much. They're landing, they're slowing the plane down. They're not like, they couldn't stop anyway. You know what I'm saying? If something pulls in front of them, the plane can't stop. So I think this is sort of on that fire truck because the fire truck is sitting there on a wide open space with no obstructions, seeing planes moving. That truck should not be crossing a runway while there's a plane on it, like, period. Oh, yeah, dude. Whoa. That is crazy, bro. Yeah, that's brutal. That cockpit is mangled. You can see it looks like the whole cockpit is sheared off. Dude, I thought maybe at first I thought the fucking people survived, but now you see it's just mangled. I think the pilot and the fucking co-pilot are probably dust now. Again, you know, and there's where it happened. There, for whatever reason, the plane was coming in on runway 4, and this fire truck, even though this is wide open, you can see the plane coming down the runway. These cops drove this thing right across the runway and ran into that plane, dude. Now, one thing I do want to note, though, guys, accidents and shit happen, but look at what Sean Duffy's been focusing on, okay? Look at this shit.
Just a short while ago, and I saw the president just a short while ago this morning posted this saying on Monday, ICE will be going to airports to help our wonderful TSA agents. Is that really the plan? Are we going to see ICE officers manning those airport security checkpoints?
Well, I would say that, you know, one of the leverage points that Iran has is trying to drive up the price of oil. It's leverage. Democrats want to see long lines at airports as leverage. President Trump's trying to take that leverage away and not make the American people suffer. So TSA agents are law enforcement. They know how to pat people down. They know how to run the X-ray machines because they are, again, under Homeland Security with TSA. So if we can bring in other assets and tools to assist TSA to get rid of these lines, yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. And the president's looking around every corner to make sure the American people don't suffer during the shutdown.
See, here's the deal, though, guys. You ready? Democrats have been ready to pass a standalone TSA bill. The only reason TSA is not funded, the only reason there are lines is because of the Republicans, because the Democrats will not fund DHS completely because of ICE killing American citizens. So the Dems have drawn a line and said, you know what? You have ICE killing American citizens. We will fund FEMA. We will fund the TSA. We can do them all in standalone, but we're not funding ICE until we negotiate about body cams and some parameters around ICE to rein them in. And the Republicans are like, screw you. We're not going to do it. So the Republicans are not funding this shit. And now they want to talk about, oh, they're going to put ICE in there. Why is the Secretary of Transportation talking about Iran? Right? Think about that. He's on this show saying, you know, Iran is like leveraging things. And so the Democrats are trying to help Iran by like having long lines. So Trump, we have ICE. They know how to pat people down. Dude, this guy's an idiot. Okay. This guy is like literally all he is doing is polishing the Trump knob. That's his whole job. He's not even taking care of the transportation department. What a fucking idiot, bro.
People dress up like they're going to bed when they fly. You know, I see people getting on airplanes and they're having a hard time taking their luggage and getting in the oversized or the above bin. Help people out, be nice, be courteous. And so we want to push people as we come into a really busy travel season. Help people out, be in a good mood, dress up, bring civility back to travel. And I think everyone's experience is going to be that much better.
Dude, dress up. Well, tell you what, even if they were all in suits, you dumb fuck, if you have trucks driving across the runway, you're going to have a problem. Dude. Dude, remember? Remember when this idiot was like doing pull-ups?
Maybe I want a workout area where people might get some blood flow and doing some pull-ups. $1 billion is going to go to that.
Dude, $1 billion is going to go to pull-up bars. And meanwhile, people are dying on the tarmac. Thank you. Again, this is how the Trump admin works, right? $1 billion will get spent on bullshit that doesn't do anything, that's totally useless, that's totally stupid, jerk it dance material. For show. It's all for show. It's all for this token bullshit. Meanwhile, you're not safe because these guys don't know how to do their job. Now, why would you expect that people are going to be safe when the transportation secretary has no experience in any type of administrative work? None whatsoever. He's never been an administrator of anything. He's a fucking reality TV star from Wisconsin who polishes the Trump knob. This guy shouldn't even have his job, right? That's it. And now what do we have? We have a plane with, you know, the front cabin of it just simply torn off. Jesus, man. Brutal. You know, literally, people are afraid to fly under the Trump admin. It's just gotten stupid. I mean, they've had so many incidents and near collisions because they have such piss poor leadership from the top down. I mean, it's just true, guys. It's like, it's not a direct result. It's just a function of bad leadership. When you have people up at the top that don't manage details well, that don't require things to be done well, where all they require is like loyalty, that shit bleeds all the way through the ranks. Okay? It does. The leader sets the tone. And that's in anything. We've seen a lot of chaos in our airports, in, you know, many accidents, many near misses. The Department of Transportation being run by Sean Duffy, it's really bad, okay? I don't think Sean Duffy should have that job. I think he is spending all his time making TV appearances on Fox News. He's always talking about shit he shouldn't be talking about, like the war and, you know, Trump's policies and all this stuff, because he's just a paid mouthpiece. So there's no leadership from the Department of Transportation on down. And I feel like that's leading to a lot of lapses of leadership in the individual airports and stuff too, because you put a reality TV star that all he does is go on Fox and sit there and do public appearances every 2 days. Nobody's running the ship. And so, you know, there's just lapses of leadership on down the line. And I mean, man, dude, we've already had like 50 airplane incidents. It's like, come on, bro. Like, Sean Duffy, Get off fucking Fox News and start actually, like, you know, being a leader of your goddamn organization. What is up, guys? Thank you so much for watching. You like the video, you want to support independent resistance media, you know what to do. Drop that sub, hit the like button, and please share it. And we do love our members, so if you want to become a member, it's another really great way to support. Thanks again for everything, guys. I'll see you next time. Let's go.